Hey guys, it's Mark from Lot More Guitar Studio. In this lesson, I'm going to show you a few of my favorite licks from a performance by Jimmy Herring on a tune called Matt's Funk. This was recorded at the Mirrorverse in North Carolina in 2012, and I'll link to the video in the description. Jimmy's solo happens over a B dominant 7th chord, and the first two licks are kind of blues, pentatonic bass riffs, and then the third one introduces the diminished scale, which gets a little bit more complicated, but is a classic line, Jimmy Herring style. So take your time with these, learn them piece by piece, and you'll have a couple of really hip phrases under your fingers. Let's check it out. Lick number 1 happens at about 2 minutes and 36 seconds into the performance and sounds something like this. This is probably going to be the most accessible lick for you of the 3 that I chose. We're soloing around a B7 chord here, or he is soloing, and he's going to mix B minor pentatonic with B major pentatonic. We talk about that all the time in lessons. So we're starting on the 10th fret first string with a whole step bend, and he lowers it down and kind of does an in-between bend here. It sounds better fast than slow. So you bring that bend down and bend like almost like a half, or maybe a little over a half, and then bring it down again and pick the 10th frets up. Then we're going to come back to the 7th fret of the first string, and that's a B note there. So then he kind of continues that theme on the 2nd string, this time bending from the 9th fret 2nd string. And it's kind of like a, again, like half step, quarter step. So he bends that up on the 9th fret, brings it down, picks it, back to the 7th fret 2nd string. So I want to come back to B major pentatonic here, and he's going to bend the 3rd string and then release it. So that's a kind of almost a whole step bend. And then bring it down and pull off from 6 to 4 on the 3rd string. So now once you pull off, you go to the 6th fret of the 4th string, back to the 4th fret of the 3rd string, back to the 6th fret of the 4th string. So then he briefly reaches his pinky up to the 7th fret 3rd string and 2nd, picks that twice, and then goes back to the 6th fret of the 4th string. So now that's almost like playing B minor pentatonic for a second, as if you were up there, right? So very free. You're free to mix major and minor pentatonic scales over a B7. So the whole thing one more time. Let's check out lick number 2. Our next lick happens about 3 minutes and 10 seconds into the video and sounds something like this. So this is another combination lick of B major and B minor pentatonic, and also the B blues scale note in there. But this is kind of a fun, flashy lick. It's very fast, but it's not too bad to learn even slow. And it's it sounds good even if you play it slowly also. So what we're going to do here is we're going to pick the 2nd string, 7th fret, hammer on the 10th fret. Jimmy uses his pinky here and pull off, and that's kind of like the starter for each one. So you have this, and then we're going to pull off from the 8th fret to the 7th fret. So he's using the major 3rd and the minor 3rd there. So you do that twice. So after I pull off, I hammer back on. Now the 3rd time, you're going to hammer on between and pull off between the 7th and the 9th fret on the 2nd string. And then same thing on the 8th and 7th on the 3rd string. So then you go back to 7-10. And 8-7. So we have this so far. Now after that one, we do a 7-10 again. And then he's going to come out to the 10th fret on the 3rd string. So it sounds kind of atonal, but we can think of that as the blues note there. And he's going to pull off between 10 and 8. Go back up to 10. So then we go back to 7-10 on the 2nd, 8-7 on the 3rd, then back up to 7-10, then 10-8 on the 3rd string. Okay, then we have one more cycle where we do 7 to 10, and then he comes down and kind of finishes the lick by coming all the way down. I'm not 100% sure what he does here, so I'll give you a way to end it. He kind of hammers on, pulls off 8 to 7 on the 3rd string, all the way down to the root on the 9th fret of the 4th string, then back up to 7 on the 3rd, hammer on the 8th, back up to 7th on the 2nd string, pull off 10 to 7, and then he ends it by grabbing the 1st string, 10th fret, bringing it down quickly, and then back up again. So, he brings it down quick and then goes back up kind of slow. So I know that sounded, let me go through that ending part one more time. Okay, so that's how I'm going to finish that lick. You just want to make sure that you time it with that bend. I'm not exact, he does this kind of really fast flourish. So that's what I'm kind of making that up, I admit, a little bit. All right, but the rest of the lick is good. We've got one time, I'll do it one more time slow. So. Fun, flashy blues lick you can try. And let's move on to lick number 3. Lick number 3 actually happens before lick number 2, but it's such a crazy one that I'm going to do this one last. Happens at 2 minutes and 59 seconds in and sounds something like this. All right, this is a wild one. A lot of notes here, but it's classic Jimmy Herring. He's going to use 4 different scales. We have B minor pentatonic, B major pentatonic, B blues scale. We could, if you want to count that as a separate scale, and also the B diminished scale, or if you half step, whole step scale. So that's a common altered scale that you can play against 7th chords. I'm not going to get too into the theory of that, but we can definitely talk about it in lessons. So see if you can follow me here. Instead of giving you all the frets and string numbers as so many notes, I'm just going to play it super slow and just see if you can follow along piece by piece. I try to learn it piece by piece. But these licks show up in this style of jamming very often, so it's a good one to get under your fingers. And the amazing thing is it's all in pretty much 7th position, though. I'm going to start on the 6th fret, 4th string. So here we go. 6th fret, 4th string. Let's do it. So that last little piece was... Sometimes that's more of a blues lick there. It's a little hard to do that slow. Okay, so we've got quite a crazy lick there. Again, he's introducing the B diminished scale, half whole step we call it, to the B7 chord. That's a kind of a cool way to take it outside when you've got a one chord vamp like that. So enjoy that. That's more, yeah, that's the most Jimmy Herring-ish lick of the three. So good luck with that. Try to learn it piece by piece, and I'll see you in the next lesson.